Data-driven decision-making is at the heart of so much in the world right now. We're making decisions not just for us now, but for future generations as well.
The connection to data science is becoming more and more important to the work. The work has been going on for the last 25 years.
So what really drives us at WiDS is that we want diversity at the decision table here. And women absolutely need to be there.
To me, a healthy data science community is one that embraces diversity.
We started WiDS with a conference at Stanford University in 2015 with three main goals that haven't really changed. First, to inspire women to join or stay in the field of data science. Second, to educate everyone by highlighting fantastic women and their technical work. And third, to support women around the world.
And wow, did we hit a nerve we didn't even know existed. Fast forward to 2022, and we have 200 regional events worldwide in more than 60 countries. And it just keeps growing year after year.
Last year, we were with all of you virtually. We had a 24-hour around-the-world event, which was very exciting. And so despite the pandemic, we got together and we created this global community. We had speakers from over 25 different countries, and it was wonderful.
And one silver lining in an otherwise tough year in 2021 is that attendees to WiDS regional events could be from anywhere in the world. We also saw really interesting collaborations, WiDS ambassadors coming together to host events in Africa, Saudi Arabia, Colombia, and Central and Eastern Europe.
One of the things I really love about WiDS is hosting the WiDS podcast. And we now have listeners from over 160 countries, which is just incredible, and many different guests. And I'm also really excited to announce that we'll soon have a co-host of the WiDS podcast, Cindy Orozco.
We also had amazing participation in the WiDS Datathon this year. Over 4,000 registrants in the Datathon from over 90 countries participating in a challenge related to climate change. And a big shout out to all the WiDS ambassadors who held workshops. We had over 40 workshops across the world.
I hope we also lift our heads above the horizon and think more than just about this moment in time, and think about the goals that we have for our young women and our young girls who'll be leading the next generation.
With the WiDS Education Outreach Program, which is focused on secondary schools, we've delivered materials to collaborators in over 50 countries around the world. We've had a great year despite all the challenges in the schools with COVID. We've had pilots everywhere from Covada, India, to New Haven, Connecticut, to a refugee camp in Jordan and beyond.
New last year were the WiDS workshops, where instructors provided dozens of workshops that were attended by thousands of attendees worldwide, online.
These WiDS initiatives would not be possible without the generous support from our sponsors, the global visionaries, the innovation leaders, and everyone at Stanford.
One thing we've been very excited about this last year is working on what we call the WiDS Academy. We got interested in understanding better what the barriers were for young women and for minorities to enter this exciting field, and how we could possibly remove those barriers, and what sort of programs could we put in place with partners all over the world to help.
Our ultimate aim with WiDS is to increase the percentage of women in data science, to achieve at least 30% women across all domains and at all levels, from students to senior leaders, by the year 2030. And we call this 30 by 30. We believe 30% is a tipping point. That's when women truly believe that they are part of a group and they can contribute and have great impact. And we hope that you join us all in reaching this big goal.
For now, though, whether you're at Stanford or at one of the regional events worldwide or just in your living room, you are a part of the WiDS worldwide movement.
Welcome to WiDS!
Hello, everyone. I would like to start by welcoming you to the 6th Women in Data Science virtual conference at AUB. On behalf of the Sulaiman Olayan School of Business and the American University of Beirut, I thank you all for being here today. I would like to extend a special thank you and warm welcome to our highly accomplished speakers, leaders in the field of data science in the region and from around the world. We are very happy to have you with us today, and I look forward to engaging discussions on the role of data science and responsible AI in serving societies and addressing global challenges. WiDS at AUB aims to inspire, educate, and get educated in the field of data science. We are here to connect with pioneering data science experts, support women to join and contribute to the field, and learn about the opportunity that data science presents in helping humanity navigate the path to recovery from the COVID pandemic and in solving challenging societal problems. Data science has the biggest potential to tackle the world's most pressing global challenges, including social inequality, climate change, pollution, poverty, health, well-being, clean energy, and sustainable cities and communities. Not only do we have the largest amount of data ever available to us, but we also now have a much greater capacity to capture, analyze, and best utilize this data to create innovative solutions that address these fundamental societal challenges. Collecting big data sets on social, health, or environmental issues would allow researchers to truly comprehend the severity and impact of these issues. Together, academic scholars, employers, NGOs, and governments can mobilize our leadership and innovative skills to create evidence-based solutions that tackle the challenges we are facing today. This is something we have already been investing in the Olayan School of Business through our Center for Inclusive Business and Leadership for Women, CIBL. At CIBL for Women, we have launched 2 economic indices, the Knowledge is Power, the KIP Index, and the Lived Experience Index, which measure women's economic contributions to the formal sectors in the Middle East and North Africa region. These indices are based on large quantitative and qualitative data collected from employers and female employees from across the region. And they fill a huge data deficit on gender disaggregated data in the region. The KIP and lived experience indices inform executives and decision makers to take actions and build inclusive structures that promote women's inclusion and close the gender gap in the workplace. We live in challenging times, but with the right data and the right science, we can make a difference. I invite you today to enjoy the talks and will pass the floor to President Fadlo Khuri, who will give the AUB remarks.
Good morning. Greetings, friends and colleagues. It gives me great pleasure to address this pioneering conference and welcome its distinguished participants, as I've had the honor to do every year since its inception. I'm even more delighted to open today's conference, which specifically tackles the subject of how we can utilize the advancement of knowledge for the direct benefit of society. As a vital part of the mission of the American University of Beirut is specifically to advance knowledge and to serve. An immense responsibility falls on the shoulders of scholars and educators alike these days. A sensible reminder to the world today from those who work hard to produce knowledge that we also need to build and improve our world, to discover how groundbreaking innovations can and should be used to make life better for all. We focus today on ethical data science, specifically responsible AI, human AI collaboration, and how we can utilize the latest digital artificial intelligence, and other technologies to forge a better today and tomorrow. As we look at developmental challenges, we can consider how data science might be used to diminish food shortages and support our most vulnerable populations, how it can amplify human potential and assist people in everyday life. Through these inquiries, as in all our endeavors, we remain faithful, dogged advocates of all human rights and fundamental principles, such as equal access and opportunity, safety, and human dignity. Thank you for your outstanding work and your reminder to us all that the goal should not be to invest all effort just to sustain human life on Earth, but to prosper and become a globe where all societies equally, sustainably, and effortlessly live well. And as the last few weeks have reminded us all, live peacefully together. All best wishes for yet another superb WiDS conference. Thank you very much.
Next, we will be with the OSB welcome with Dean Yusuf Sidani.
On behalf of the Sulaiman Olayan School of Business at the American University of Beirut, I want to welcome you to this global event that we have been organizing with great success for the past few years. Every year around this time, we meet and explore ways to support this growing community of female data scientists. The Olayan School of Business has been immersed in transformational initiatives aimed at empowering the next generation of women, inspiring change at every level. The degree to which this event has attracted attention and interest has been phenomenal. One area of interest in this field is the notion of data bias. Sometimes bias is embedded in the data itself, as the way by which data is collected might embed bias. This happens sometimes in the medical field, for example, where data from patients overrepresents a certain ethnicity or race to the detriment of other ethnicities and groups. This also happens in any business decision as well, whether we are dealing with marketing data, operations data, or even accounting data. Sometimes bias does not pertain to the data itself, but more to the person who's collecting the data, who's arranging the data, and who is making inferences from the data. If most data scientists are men, the way that data is analyzed and the meaning behind the data will lack much of the diversity that women would bring. So beyond just seeking more equity for women, from an ethical perspective, there is a genuine business reason for better representation of women. Over the past years, we've had a wonderful opportunity to listen to accomplished women in the field sharing their experiences and insights. I'm certainly looking forward to get the same from this year's event. Thank you.
Great. I would like to introduce Dr. Lina Daouk-Öyry. Dr. Lina is going to give a brief overview about WiDS this year. Lina is a WiDS at AUB ambassador. She's Associate Professor of Organizational Behavior at the Olayan School of Business at AUB, and she is a visiting researcher at Aalto University, Finland. Lina, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Lama, and a very, very warm welcome, everyone. I am very, very excited to be here with you today again and welcoming you again to the Women in Data Science at AUB, or actually what we would like to call as the WiDS Beirut event. We are proud to be one of the 200 WiDS events around the world, spanning from North America to Europe, to the Middle East, to Africa, to Southeast Asia and Australia. We actually have embarked on this endeavor around 6 years ago with the aim of encouraging women in data science in the MENA region to connect with one another and to promote an inclusive and diverse community within the rapidly expanding field of data science. We also came together in order to bring you inspiring leaders in the field of data science. And this year, We are also thrilled that despite all the challenges that Lebanon in particular has been facing for the past 2 years, or even more than the past 2 years, WiDS AUB continues year after year to bring you a fantastic lineup of women speakers in the field of data science. Our speakers this year represent exemplary role models in the field of data science who are here to share critical advances in the field. Our speakers not only act as role models for the younger generations, particularly young girls who are underrepresented in STEM fields, but also they are here to enrich this conference with their knowledge and expertise relating to this year's theme, which focuses on data science serving society. Today, in the aftermath, if I can say aftermath, of a global pandemic, also with the extreme weather events around the world, with climate change, with geopolitical tensions, wars, poverty, and hunger, to name a few only, we are really living in what we can call extreme times and extreme contexts that require extreme measures to solve them. The COVID-19 pandemic alone has ravaged the world, exposing major inadequacies of all systems of care. Inequity in access to care was prominent across high, medium, and low-income economies, and several studies around the world comparing health systems internationally and their responses to the COVID-19 pandemic. These studies exposed stark discrepancies in hospitalization, in death rates, in access to vaccines, among many others as well. Advances in data science in business and in healthcare have the potential to help us solve many of such societal problems and challenges. From optimizing supply chains to reach people all around the world, to better understanding the crop's genetic codes and tackling the large environmental footprint of agriculture, to personalizing medicine, to enabling surgeons to operate remotely in disaster zones. Our speakers today will shed light on advances in data science, AI, and machine learning in addressing several of these societal challenges. We will also hear today about the ethics surrounding the use of AI and other technologies, and we will also address additional challenges that may arise from the use of AI in solving such problems.